minute or so to actually load up. Ba, 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 ba. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I mean, yeah. Let's go on. It's loaded up. There we go. We're all started, all set, all ready to go. Because honestly, I think I've got someone coming out where I'm going to be talking about the biggest positives from Slot, the biggest things that he's accomplished, I think, in this first season. I'm fine. I'm very good. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Um, yeah, no, the biggest things that Slot's done well this season, he's been a revelation. I think it's the nicest way to say it. He's been fantastic. He has revolutionized. I'll say that's a bit of a strong word, but he's absolutely smashed out the park this season. But the biggest thing, I think, the biggest thing he's done well this season, or one of the biggest things, has been how he's handled the media, how he's handled the press, how he's handled all the stress and just the way he's handled the way like all the contract situations, all the Trent discussions, all the Van Dijk discussions, the Mo Salah discussions. He's never got carried away. He's never got too emotional. He's kept things calm. He's been so meticulous in the way he's wanted to do everything. And today was I think that was his best media press conference that he's done so far, or it's up there with the best that he's done because he said all the right things. He absolutely threw Trent to the wolves, and I think he absolutely needed to. It was the right fucking thing to do. He threw Trent out and basically said the fans can do what they want. I don't care if they want to feel infuriated about what he's done. If they want to feel however they want to feel, that's absolutely fine. He's made the decision to drop Trent, and that's something that so many people have been crying out for Trent to be dropped. And I was one of the people who I didn't see the point of dropping him while we were still going for the league title. I think what Trent offers, what he's still capable of doing, you couldn't drop him until we got to the point where mathematically it was impossible for Arsenal to catch up. And now we've done that. We're at the point where Arsenal can no longer catch us. We've won the league title. That league title there, the little mini one on my shelf. Drop him all you want. Put him out to the Wolves. I don't want to see Trent get another game. I do not want to see Trent Alexander-Arnold get another game for Liverpool. I would be happy for him to sit on the bench, not contribute, and have no part of this going forward. And I don't think Slot's going to do that. I don't think Slot is going to look at this and think, you know what? He's not going to have anything to contribute because he will. He will absolutely come off the bench. Conor Bradley's not fit enough to go a full 90 just yet. But I'm so happy so happy with the way that Slot has conducted himself around this Trent situation. He's not gone out and said, he's a legend. He deserves respect. He should get his farewell. He's gone out there and he's basically said, in without actually saying it, the fans don't like Trent's decision. That's not my thing to argue against. If they want to boo, they can boo. If they want to cheer, they can cheer. Fucking right. Like Trent should not be starting. And the fact that Conor Bradley is was the best thing that Slot could have said in this press conference. Conor Bradley is warranted He's earned a starting spot next season. He has 100% earned the opportunity to be the starter next season at right back. And there's also talk of Frimpong, which we can go on to in a bit. I'm not overly keen, but it is what it is. And Conor Bradley has earned the right to be a starting right back for us next season. And I think he will be. I think Slot thinks he will be. He was in discussion over it today. He basically all but confirmed it, said that Conor Bradley is the natural successor to Trent. Fucking right. Give him game time. Let him get fit. Let him get his opportunity, and let's just see where he goes. Because the sky's the limit for Conor Bradley. He's been fantastic. But yeah, thoughts on this? Because there's a lot to sort of unpick. I mean, the main thing around Trent is obviously the fact that he's leaving on a free. There were talks that we were trying to convince him to stay with us, his boyhood club, and we're trying to convince him. And that was apparently since last April. He's strung us along. He's the one who's basically fucked us over by deciding I want to go on a free to Real Madrid of all teams. He should not just be gifted the opportunity at right back. Conor Bradley is warranted this spot in the starting 11. And like Slot said, if he was fit for Chelsea, he would have played. And the fucking difference that Conor Bradley made when he came on the pitch against Chelsea, it was night and day. He was so direct. He was so good getting forward. This Trent thing, for years and years and years, we've defended Trent because of his defense. What he lacks defensively, he makes up for going forward. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? He is shit defensively. We all know it. He knows it. Every single person on the planet knows it. Conor Bradley is good. Conor Bradley's so good at the back. He was so good going forward against Chelsea. He was great getting forward. He was direct. He added that extra bit of pace. He was overlapping with Salah. And yeah, I'm so happy that he's actually been given the opportunity. And that's Slot basically saying, fuck Trent. No one cares. We know what he's done. He's made it very clear what his decision was. He's leaving That is fucking right. I don't know what happened then. I completely didn't realize. I didn't. I didn't realize the stream would still be going. It, I don't know what happened then. My internet just completely dropped, and here we go. Apparently, carrying on. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like in the. That's going to be funny as fuck. Right, I'll give it a minute or two to sort of catch back up. I don't know what fuck it, I was fine, and then the internet dropped, and for some reason, rather than ending the stream, it just completely it just completely went crap up. I don't know what happened then, but yeah, so it's carrying on. For some reason, it decided rather than ending the stream like it normally does when internet cuts out, it would continue. So there's going to be about 10 minutes of that wall or blank space. I don't know what's going to be on the screen there, but yeah, it's going to be covered in something. But I mean, I was going on a Trent rant and it just completely decided to cut out. Maybe I said his name too many times, like Beetlejuice or something. But hey ho, is what it is. It's since we had people building, doing something at the front, and they've really fucked up something. But they've done whatever they've done has destroyed the internet connection in this house. I don't know why. Give it a minute or two until we go going back up. Just double check that everything's actually connected. If I go on mine, is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. Well, there we go. So I suppose we'll crack on with that because yeah. Is this still First realized I didn't actually notice it on Twitter, but there we go. But yeah, no, I suppose we'll just start again. Just lots threw Trent under the bus. Fuck him. Yeah, no, this whole Slot Trent scenario, I'm happy with the way that Slot's gone about this. Fuck Trent. He doesn't deserve the opportunity to be in that starting 11. I kind of want to see him come on because I kind of want to see the reaction. I want him to get booed. As horrible as that sounds, he's going to get booed. There's not an I can do that's going to change anyone's mind about that. I just want to see it. I kind of want to see what everyone's feeling is towards Trent. And I think Connor Bradley is obviously going to be here next season. That's been established. Slot said so himself. He said a few days or a few weeks ago, even that like if Bradley was fit, he'd be giving him a lot more game time to prepare him for next season. He knows that Connor Bradley is going to be the starting right back, and that it's interesting because I want to know what we're going to do with this Frimpong situation. Like, it's obvious that we need another right back. We cannot go forward. We can't go into next season with our only options at right back being Connor Bradley, Joe Gomez, and Jarrell Kwanzaa. Jarrell Kwanzaa, who's been linked with a move away. Joe Gomez, who 2 days ago he could have his testimonial. And he's, you know, I love Joe Gomez. I think he's great. He's so versatile. He's so good at the back at points, but he's not an option at right back. I don't want to see him at right back. Curtis Jones at right back. Don't want to see it. Connor Bradley is going to need rotation options. Whether that's Frimpong or not, I don't know. I'm not sold on Frimpong. I'm not a big Frimpong person. There's undeniable quality from Jeremy Frimpong. He's so good going forward. He's such a like terrific attacker, but he suits a PSG mold more than he does a Liverpool one. He is not someone who is defensively solid. He's a wing back. Jeremy Frimpong. He's not your out and out right back like Slot wants. He is an attack minded, inverted, or overlapping right wing back even, who's going to make things happen on the attack. He is not a defensive minded right back like Connor Bradley is. The only thing with Connor Bradley is he going to be fit enough? Is he going to be able to stay fit? And that's something that you can sort of throw at him. I want to know what Connor Bradley's injury record is, actually. Let me just. I'm going to put this on full screen for a second to get my ugly mug. I'm going to get his injury record. I want to know how many games Connor Bradley has actually missed during his time at Liverpool. It's not going to be too many, surely. He's not exactly been a first teamer for a long time. It's been the past 2 seasons. Mind you, I've just seen the first injury. it's It's huge. Jesus Christ. I didn't realize it was that. I didn't realize that he'd had an injury that big. That's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah. So share that. Just let me. I'm still learning all of this. There we go. Transfer. Close that. There we go. So yeah, he's been injured 4 times, Conor Bradley, since he's joined us. The first one there, 25 days. 25 games, even. That's not even 25 days. That's 25 games, 128 days back injury. He's then had an ankle injury, which was for 6 games. He's then had a hamstring injury, a muscle injury. That's 4 injuries. How many games is that? So that's 15, 8, 23. That's 48 games in 4 separate injuries. That's a season and 10 games if you're just going by the Premier League. And it is a concern. It is undeniably a concern that Conor Bradley is, you know, uh, he's so class, Conor Bradley. I want to see him do well, but the injuries are a concern. Do I think that Jeremy Frimpong is the answer as a backup? Don't know. I really, really don't know. But I'm sort of fascinating onto here. I'm digressing. But yeah, the Trent thing, the Trent scenario. Um, you know what? Do I think Trent's going to play again? I do. I think that Trent is absolutely going to get game time again. He's probably going to come off the bench. Conor Bradley is not fit enough to be starting every game yet and doing a full 90 minutes. I think obviously Slot said he's going to start every match, but I don't see a world in which he plays the full 90. Would he come off for Joe Gomez, who's still coming back to full fitness? Would he do it for a Curtis Jones? Curtis Jones, who's still, he's not a right back. He's not a right back, Curtis Jones. He's really not a right back. He's just, was it Badgertich or him who played right back last season or a season before even? I think it was last season, the Europa League. Was that Curtis Jones or was that Badgertich? I need someone to let me know. But my worry is I don't want to go into this transfer window and I don't want the narrative to be that we're going to sign this player and this player and this player and spend this money and this money, and we end up like with our right back options being Conor Bradley, who fucking love him, but the injuries are a concern. Curtis Jones, who, if you think Conor Bradley's injury worries are bad, Joe Gomez's are not comparable because he gets injured so often. And then you've got Curtis Jones, who's not a right back. He's a midfielder who played right back against Everton, did fine. Played right back against Fulham, got done. I don't want him to be right back anymore. We do need to sign someone if the plan is for Conor Bradley to be the starter, because he will no doubt get injured. I'm just not convinced that Jeremy Frimpong is the right answer. He is great going forward. He's so good at going inverted and making things happen. He is not a defensive minded right back. Like, I think I've got the stats here actually. Let me just see if I can get them open. Jeremy Frimpong, yeah, sure, done. Let's have a look at this. So I'm going to go down to Bundesliga and see if I can get the actual defensive stats and the attacking stats from this season. So there we go. Sorted. Is that working properly? Kind of. My fat head's blocking off the screen, but that's fine. So yeah, like going forward, look at the assists, look at the expected goals, look at the progressive carries, successful take-ons, progressive passes received, and then look at the defensive stats. He's not a defensive-minded player. He's not someone who I would trust wholeheartedly to be our starting right back. And the fee that's apparently going around is about 35 million pounds, and you can pay it in 4 yearly installments. That's 7.5 million a season. That's a bargain. But I'm not sure that Frimpong is the right solution, because if we wanted a right back who can't defend but is amazing going forward, we'd have offered Trent a new contract 2 seasons ago. How's it going? I'm doing, you know what? I'm doing great. I've got my San Miguel. There's 10 minutes of this stream earlier on, if you're going back and watching, where fuck all's here. It's just the back wall because the internet cut out. But other than that, we're linked with Jeremy Frimpong. We're getting linked with Kevin De Bruyne yesterday. That was a fun 10 minutes. We're being linked with every top player in the world. It's hard being on the perch because you're getting linked with all these class players. Kirkers, Frimpong, Miller, Sesko, like every class player has been linked with us. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be us at the moment. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'd be happy if we were to get Frimpong in the sense of he'd be exciting. He'd be fucking exciting going up that right wing. But he's not a. If you take Conor Bradley out of that team and you bring Jeremy Frimpong in, you have to change everything. You can't. They can't. It's not a like for like swap. Trent and Bradley weren't a like for like swap, but they were a bit more like for Trent. For all that he is a shite defender, he can defend. Jeremy Frimpong, that is in the Bundesliga, and I understand that Bayer Leverkusen do not get attacked as much as, say, a Stuttgart does, or my head's gone completely fucking blank now for Bundesliga teams. Jesus. Uh, I want to say Frankfurt. That's the first one that's popping in my head, but even then, they're not in that same position. But no, I know that Leverkusen are going to get attacked as often down that flank, but he's not someone that's he's not a defender. He's not. He's someone who's been pigeonholed into the right back position in the same way that Trent, who's a right back, was pigeonholed into a central midfielder role. It doesn't work. Trent is not a midfielder. Frimpong is not a right back. Could he work as cover for both Bradley and Salah? He could. Don't get me wrong, he could, but that's not what I want. I'm sick of signing people who aren't good at, I'd rather someone who's great at one position, their natural position, than someone who's all right at several different ones. As a right winger, fine. But what we've got Chiesa. I like Chiesa. I want to see Chiesa get given a chance. What I, I just don't see the point in signing someone who's going to be sort of one game he's right back, the next he's right wing, then he's right wing back, then he's right back again, then he's right wing again. Salah is not, he is a freak of nature and he does not get injured that often. I mean, touch wood, Christ. If we can keep Salah fit next season, look how much he's played that's forced Chiesa to just stay on the bench and in some games not even make the bench. Jeremy Frimpong coming in is going to expect regular football. He's going to expect regular first team football. You'd imagine. I don't know. I don't know him from Adam. But I can't see him being happy to come in and just take over Chiesa's role because Bradley is probably going to be the starter next season. Slot said that himself. He's not going to come in for us to sell Chiesa for Frimpong to just sit on the bench and not contribute in the starting 11 as frequently as he'd like. He'd end up just rotating with Bradley all the time. And when you do that, you have to change into some sort of back three because Frimpong wants to either invert into like the Trent role, like we've seen, or he wants to overlap and stay forward. Like the attacking half of the pitch, he's going to be great. The back half, shite, and I don't want that. I want a right back who can actually defend. Who that is, I don't know. Gertrude, the one who's at Leipzig, I'd be more than happy with him. I wanted us to sign him when he was at Feyenoord. Obviously, the Slot connection, that was just a bit of a pipe dream. He would be great. Any news on a left back? It's been quite slow, in all honesty, I think, on left back. Kerkez is still the one that's being linked. It's mostly been right back talk. If I'm getting it completely right, let me see if I can get the go onto the Twitter page. I'm pretty sure there's nothing really developed over the past 24 hours. Right back, Vanderson. I don't know a great deal. We can look him up in a second. But in terms of left back, there hasn't been a tremendous development. I'm pretty sure that Kerkez is the sort of the one and done scenario where it's Kerkez or bust kind of thing, and I'm fine with that. I have no issue with Liverpool abiding the time and the aiming for Kerkez to be the main target. It's just with Trent going at the minute with this Bradley news today from Slot. I think right back's just going to be the news story that gets the most clicks. It gets the most people looking at it. I just think that's the way it's going to be now for a while. But yeah, big thumbs up. Thank you for asking. I appreciate the comments. Everyone, like, get involved with the comments. I really do appreciate it. Any questions, anything you want to know, even if it's just about me, I just take an interest. Take an interest. That's always been the problem. Someone good enough to cover Salah, but happy to be on the bench when Mo is fit. That is it's such. It's not a problem it shouldn't be viewed as a problem, but it is, where Salah is too good that no one else can get into this team to even sniff competing against him. And it's not a problem, no wrong. Like, Salah is the best right winger in Premier League history. He's top four, top three, arguably Liverpool of all time. Like, you need someone who's going to be happy to sit behind him on the bench. Chiesa is doing it at the moment, but you've got reports that he might want to leave. So who out there in their right mind is going to come take over from someone who's just won the PFWA award for the third time in his career, who has been the best player on the planet? Who are you bringing in who's going to sit there behind Salah and be happy to sit on the bench because he knows he's not going to get game time? Chiesa this season is the example of someone who he was brought in for cheap, and he's talented. He's a Euros winner. We've seen it at Juventus. We've seen what he's done in the Champions League, and he can't even get in the first team. And he's only just got his fifth Premier League game against Chelsea, meaning that he can get a medal at the end of the season. That's how good Salah's been. So it is a problem that we can't get someone to come in who can rotate with Salah, because he's a freak. He doesn't get injured. Like I said, touch wood, he just doesn't. And you're not going to find anyone who's happy to sit behind him, who's content to just not be involved in the starting lineup. Konaté's contract is worrying. It is. And it genuinely is this Konaté conundrum. The Konaté conundrum. That's class. No, Ibu's one's fun. Not fun. It's funny because I'm convinced that PSG this season have swayed so many players to look at them as a serious contender to move to. Ibrahima Konaté, for me, so the rumor is supposedly he wants 200k a week, and at the moment I think he's on like 90k, which is way too low. 90k for Ibu is ridiculous. I understand that there's injury worries, and I understand that he's got injured a fair amount. I'll look it up now actually and see if I can find out what Konaté's injury record is, because it is something that is a major concern for you. But you'd think, but I didn't realize until before, when I was looking through all this, that this season Ibrahima Konaté has only been injured once, right? He missed 8 games, and that was when Real Madrid decided to mug him, and he got decked, and he missed that game. I think it was a knee problem he had, and he missed 8 games, I believe it was. I can get it up in front of me now. I'm just trying to get it loaded. Yes, there we go. Right, bear with me. I'm slowly getting there with this whole. There we go. So yeah, this season he's missed 8 games. It was November the 28th until New Year's Eve this season. He's had one injury, which is massively improved compared to previous seasons. Like, you look towards the bottom there, and what have we got? We got 10 games, 4 games, 10 games, 5, 4, 4. Like, he got injured a lot, especially towards the beginning. But now, this season, he's had one injury. He's missed 8 matches. All right, that's 34 days. And that was the Real Madrid game where he got the knock. And obviously, that can't be helped. He got basically mugged on the pitch. Like, he got taken out, suffered a knee injury, missed 8 games. I believe that was around the time where we had like Newcastle. I think no, it wasn't Arsenal. I think Newcastle was one with West Ham. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but yeah, there was around that period of time where we had the big stretch of games, and he missed that many. He missed 8, but last season he still only missed 8 matches, and some of them were for France as well. That's not all for us, and he missed 34 days. He missed 34 days this season, so it's 2 separate injuries. But it's the exact same amount of days. It's the exact same amount of games missed as this season. And this season's been regarded as his best in terms of a fitness perspective. So you take that in mind and you look at him and you think, well, earlier on this season, he was arguably our best centre-back. I think for the first couple of months, he was higher than Van Dijk in most metrics. On the pitch, he was the sweeper. He was winning everything. And I think he was better than Van Dijk until he got that injury. That injury against Real Madrid is what knocked him down. He came back. It took him a bit of a time to adjust, but him and Van Dijk has been integral. It's been so important for us this season in terms of winning the league. And I think that is our best centre-back partnership in the Premier League era. Ibrahim Konaté and Virgil van Dijk. You've got Sami Hyypiä and Jamie Carragher. Daniel Agger and Martin Scales, definitely not up there. I think Konaté and Van Dijk has been the best Premier League partnership for Liverpool. I wasn't around during Alan Hansen, Neil Ruddock. I wasn't there for all them. But yeah, if he's wanting 200k a week, I've got no issue giving him 200k a week. I have absolutely no qualms about giving Konaté 200k a week. Trent is on 180, and I think that is something that pissed him off and sort of led him to move into Real Madrid because he can get way more there, supposedly. But we offered him about 300k, and I don't really care. Trent, fuck him, who cares? I think Konaté warrants 180 to 200k a week. If he's holding out for 200k, I get it. I personally would have no major issue with it. PSG must be tempting because he is a Paris lad, and that's the big thing now. And this isn't a PSG side where it's all about superstars and signing Mbappe and Messi and Neymar and all these world-class talents. They're thrifty, they're smart. And, he's been fantastic this season. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I think it's a no-brainer for PSG with Marquinhos as well, especially. He'll be leaving soon. He's in his mid to late 30s now. I don't see him sticking around for too much longer. I think Konaté to PSG is probably going to happen at some point. I don't see him sign this new deal, but I think if you lose Ibu on a free, that is ridiculous. If you can get Højlund in or someone to sort of fill that role, I would be looking to sell him this summer if you can get someone in to replace him. Don't make problems for ourselves by flogging off everyone who's of vital importance. You can't lose Trent and then sell Ibu before we even sign anyone else. We've just got to be smart. That's why the Emblemo makes no sense. I think this is about the Salah discussion I was having earlier on. Yeah, it doesn't, and not for 70 million like everyone's been making out. I think Emblemo had an amazing first half of the season. I don't particularly want him. I'm not breaking the bank for a right wing pickup. What's the point? Will you be doing more 10 interesting facts about season? Yes. So the 97-98 one is typed up and ready to go. That was a fucking nightmare to work on. That's why there's such a big gap. So the list videos are sort of, I want to do the streams as a sort of, if I can't sit down and record something, I want to do the streams to just keep content coming out because I love doing it. It's so fun and just chatting to you guys. When you get involved like this, it's amazing. So just keep getting the comments in and I'll respond to all of them. The 97-98 season has been the most difficult one to write for. The way I do the list is I will sit there and I will type them all out word for word like a script. I'll then do the voiceover and I will then edit it and I will get it all up. There was nothing about 97-98 at all that was even close to an interesting fact past number 7. I struggled for the last 3. I did find them. We've got 10. Don't worry. Some of them are really, really interesting. But God, it's such a difficult campaign to compare it to others. It was towards the end of Roy Evans' solo tenureship. It was his last season on his own. The next one's Houllier and Evans, which I'm really excited to do because there's plenty I've already got lined up for that. But this one, there was something about it. There was just no... Michael Owen had just burst onto the scene and Robbie Fowler got injured. So it was hard to sort of... I couldn't do anything around Michael Owen's breakout season being like, oh, this is the first season where someone finishes top scorer other than Robbie Fowler for 4 seasons because Fowler got injured. It's not like Owen came in and just immediately overthrew him. He took his time to get there. Fowler had suffered a really bad injury and missed basically the whole season. So that didn't make sense. I couldn't do something about the player transfers because we really didn't sign anyone big that summer. The biggest one we signed was Danny Murphy. Everyone else was pretty shit. And yeah, it's finding little niche facts that are so out there. I love doing the season review, like the 10 fascinating facts about this season and this season and this season, because I like to think I know a bit about this club. I love it, and it's my favorite thing next to my girlfriend and my dog and my family and blah blah blah, is finding out things about this club. I will love researching it, and I learned so much from it. But fuck me, 97, 98 was such a slog to go through in terms of research. Yeah, that's why it took so long. But I promise you, it is coming out soon, like very soon. I've got it record. I just need to do the voiceover, and it will get edited. Cool. I use them to help me write some quizzes. Send me a quiz. If you send me a quiz, I will get involved with that gladly. What do you? Is it like a pub quiz, or is it just something that you do? Got three or four good questions out of them. Well, I'm glad that someone's getting some use out of them because for me, I love doing them. If you're getting something out of them, then brilliant. Happy, happy, happy days. That's what they're there for. So yeah, really happy with that. Um, yeah, that's just I need to start doing 98, 99. If anyone's got any interesting ones about 98, 99, please let me know because that one's I'm looking forward to doing that one. I know it was Gerard Houllier and Roy Evans for like the season they were joint, and it was a fucking shit show. So I'm looking forward to doing about that one. But yeah, we'll carry on. That's me sort of self-analyzing for a minute. That was really enjoyable. But we'll move on to the next the next thing. It's in the title, and it's Darwin Núñez. Let me just see. Ian McCoffey said, "I'm sold." I remember Shanks resigning. How old are you? What year did was it 60 68? I'm not sure. After I'm sorry. I'm having like a proper. Was it 68 when he resigned? I might be getting all my years mixed up. No, it was late. No, but it doesn't matter. I do them on live streams on my channel. Send me them. Send me the links. I'll jump. I'll get involved, and then I can go in the comments and I can be like, I helped. So a bit of an ego boost for me. Um, Speaking of Shankly, I've got that there. My Bill Shankly sign. I say little. It's fucking huge. It's heavy as well. I need to put that on the wall. But yeah, Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is. I mean, look. I Let me just see if I can find the post actually for Darwin Núñez because he's somewhere, somewhere here. Let me just see if I can actually find him before I screen share because I don't want to just wade through all the rubbish. Where are we? There we go. That's the one. That's the one. Stop screen. Present. I was born 1962. I mean, you're not old. Don't. Oh, that's the wrong one. Don't stress. You really would be stressing all far. Okay, cool. Yeah, send me the link. Uh, I don't know how you'd send me it. Follow me on Twitter. If you send it me on Twitter, or you can send it to my. I mean, I've got an email, but that's all for business stuff. If you want to send me it on Twitter, Beyond the Cop 97. It'll be in the link in the description. Send me it on there. I'd love to get involved. Happily get involved, and I'll watch it as well. So let me know. Um, Let me just see if I can find the share screen option in the infield. So there we go. This is the one. This is the one which is going to make us so much money, and I'm so excited if this is coming true because it needs to come true. Darwin Núñez, fucking off. Just end it, please. No more pain. I can't agree more. And you know what? Oh, you just needed. Darwin is look. I think it's a bit. It's harsh to sit here and sort of completely rag on Darwin Núñez because look, he's given us phenomenal moments. He has given us incredible moments. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth in the League Cup last season when we were wearing that horrible kit with the Minecraft creepers on it. Brentford this season. But the issue is he is someone who has moments more than good games. You cannot have someone like that. Are you going to keep him in your starting 11 because you think that every now and then he might come up with that game changer moment? No, you're not. Darwin Núñez is shit, and it just feels like such a pile on to keep going on about him. And I'm so grateful for those great moments that he's given us. Newcastle alone was unbelievable. That is one of the best comebacks in our history. I'm not going to compare it to like Istanbul. I'm not going to compare it to Barcelona and all that. In terms of the Premier League, that Newcastle one is right up there. And he's given us so many highlightable moments. The back heel against Real Madrid, the goal against City in the Community Shield, Newcastle, Brentford, Forest, Bournemouth, the like. But it doesn't justify him sticking in this team as a starter. And we all thought that Slot was going to be the man to unlock him. We all thought that he was going to be revolutionising this brand new player. And the first game of the season, the first few games, Jota started over him. And that says it all. That says it all. That Slot knew from day one Darwin was not the man to do. So how W? Might have to redo that one because I'm not 100% certain what you were trying to say. How woo? But yeah. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you sent a different one. That's my apology. So how well do you think Trent will do in the Liga and Nunez will do in Saudi Arabia? Trent in the Liga, look, he's probably going to be great. I think he will do well in the Liga because it's a league that's all about self-expression. It's a proper... We saw Barcelona, the quick turnovers from defence into attack, counter-attacking football. Trent is going to thrive at that. He is going to absolutely thrive at being in a Real Madrid team. They're going to soak up pressure when they need to, because I know that they are dominant team or one of the dominant teams in the Liga. And Alonso has shown with Jeremy Frimpong just what he can get out of attacking right backs. He is going to have a field day with Trent at right back, Xabi Alonso, when he inevitably goes to Real Madrid, which we all know he's doing because he confirmed he was leaving Leverkusen, and Madrid is just, it's obvious. It's been written for over a year now since he said no to us. He is going to thrive in the Liga, I think, under Xabi Alonso Trent, which is going to be a pain to see, but it is what it is. Trent in the past, we move on. Nunez in Saudi Arabia. Look, Nunez in Saudi Arabia it's going to be like when Mitrovic went. He's going to fucking tear it up. He is going to absolutely rip the Saudi Arabia League apart, or the Saudi Arabian League, even the A-League. He is going to tear it apart. But anyone can. I mean, no offense to Firmino, he's in my top 10 favorite players, which I'm doing a list on very soon, I think. But he's tearing up still in Saudi Arabia. Nunez is going to go and he's going to have no issue because the defenders over there are what, League One standards? Like, he's going to run them to death, and I think he's going to do very well in Saudi Arabia. And the only reason I don't think that this move has anything to do with will he do well, will he succeed? This is just money. Get as much for him as we can. The best case scenario we could have for Darwin Núñez in terms of a sale is flog him off to Saudi, because at least we'll recoup about 3/4 of the money that we paid. And if we do that, that's good business. He was too expensive for what we paid for him. It was during the Jörg Schmadtke, Jurgen Klopp scenario. He was overpaid. He was someone who was just, he was never going to be the answer. He was never someone that we signed to. He was the wrong position that we needed at that time. We needed centre backs. We needed number 6. We signed a striker who got sent off in his first game, and I think that should have been the sign of everything that was to come from him. Do you think that Saudi will ever be able to develop into a better league? I don't think Saudi is an awful league. It is. It really is, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, but no, I think that this whole, we saw it with the Chinese Super League, and we saw it with the MLS, where you can go out and sign the best players all you want, but you sign in like Benzema, Kante, Firmino, Wijnaldum, Moussa Dembele, Ronaldo, all these players who are like, everyone knows them, that's great, and it's going to bring eyes on the product, but you've still got a back line which consists of players that no one's heard of, who are not good. Until you develop a youth system there, until you develop an infrastructure and build around that, the Saudi League is never going to be up to a good standard. That's why the MLS has only just recently started to pick up, because they've built it from beneath. You can't just go out and sign the best players and think, or like the most well-known players, and just think that'll fucking do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't improve the quality of the league. It just gets eyes on the product. And the eyes on the product are looking at those players that you've signed because they're big, mercurial names. When David Beckham went to the MLS, he said it in the documentary himself, like the standards of the pitch, the standard of the league, everything. He got into an argument with Landon Donovan about it because you can go to these leagues that you've signed a big name player, but it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't mean that suddenly everything around them is going to improve. The Saudi League will get there maybe one day, but only when they start developing behind the scenes and beneath them. Until then, it's just another MLS or Chinese Super League, and it's not going to move any further forward. Hypothetical, I know. But do you think Alonso would have won the league for us this year? Hmm. It's definitely, it's a discussion to have. I didn't think Slot was going to win the league. So to say that Alonso would, I think with Alonso, I don't think he could have came in and had the sort of. I don't think so. Alonso is a very different tactical setup. It would have changed a bit too much, I think. He obviously uses the three at the back with wing backs, and his midfield would have been completely different. He wouldn't use Gravenberch as the single pivot in midfield. I don't think Salah would perform anywhere near as well as he does because I imagine that Alonso would want him to track back and defend. And I don't think he would have been able to sort of get the best out of this team. I think he would have had to have gone out and signed a good number of players. It's not to say that he wouldn't have done it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't see the future, but I'm not convinced that he would have been able to come in and just immediately dick the league like Slot did. Slot just completely battered it. Using the squad that we have, that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, he signed Chiesa, who hasn't played hardly. He's only just reached 5 games in the league, and Mamadashvili, who's on loan at Valencia. I feel like if Alonso had come in, he would have had to change things because he would have played with wing backs. We would have needed 3 at the back. Van Dijk, Konaté, and Quansah. He's going to need more depth there. You can't just have Gomez as the option because he's been injured this season as well. Oh, I knows it, you. But yeah, I think he could have come in and he probably would have had to change too much to make it a justifiable. I think it'd be interesting. It's an interesting timeline to look at, really. When you pay for mercenaries, you get mercenaries. Too right, you do, because that's all Saudi is. And I think there's a lot of people, Jota, who went to the Saudi League from Celtic, and he already came back because he said it's a shit show. Benzema hated it, supposedly. He still does, but he's getting good money, so he's just sort of tolerating it. And then you look at someone, and it really does blow my mind that I'm making this comparison. Look at Andy Carroll now, who's in, is it the 3rd tier or the 4th tier of the French league with Bordeaux or something like, oh, not even Bordeaux. Let me just, who's Andy Carroll play for now? Andy Carroll. Who the fuck's Andy Carroll play for now? Why can I not? It literally came up on my thing the other day. Andy Carroll. Yeah, he plays for Bordeaux. I thought it was. Yeah, Andy Carroll plays for Bordeaux. It's 2025. I'm talking about Andy Carroll. But you look at him, and he's gone to that league where he's getting paid pennies, and he said it's so much better. Like, you've just got a better quality of life. You can go about and do your own thing. Some players want that. Danny Osvaldo left to become a musician. He left Southampton. Andy Carroll's left like English football as a whole, and he's gone to the 4th tier of France, and he's loving it. So, these players who want to go to Saudi and be paid copious amounts of money, they will earn in a day more than I will in my life, probably. And they're mercenaries. A lot of them, they are. They're doing it for money. The quality of the Saudi league. And I'm going to go back to Nunez in a second because I feel like I've sort of gone on a tangent. But the Saudi league is not going to improve until the infrastructure improves around it and you improve the whole squad. You can't just bring in Ronaldo, slap him in a team. This isn't like when Sir Alex Ferguson said, "Get me Zidane and 10 pieces of wood and I'll win the league." It doesn't actually work that way. You can't just slap Ronaldo into the middle of this team at the age of 39 or 48 or whatever he is now and expect him to do things. It doesn't work. It's not like that. You can't do it until the overall product improves, until the system improves and the youth system and the build up and everything around it. It's not going to improve the overall product. And the Saudi league, as much as it's a Moneyball league and China, MLS, blah, 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 I've said it about 10 times already. No, it's not going to improve. It's not going to get there until they do that. But yeah. Anyway, back to Darwin. Look, you can't be in your third season and sort of you can't have question marks in your third season as our most expensive player over whether or not you are good enough. You either are or you aren't. You can't be in that stage. And I do feel bad for some of the stick that Darwin gets. I gave it about 10 minutes ago and I feel kind of bad for it. But you just can't be in that scenario. He's not good enough. And there was a point in time where him and Salah, they had this like connection. It worked out really well. And you thought maybe they're going to get the best out of each other. It didn't happen. And Darwin at points is such a major passenger in this team. He doesn't contribute anything of like substantial substance. That was difficult to say, but like if I get his stats up now, let me just look it up. So Darwin Núñez stats, because he's a great presser and he's got energy and he's got tenacity and he's so good at like getting forward. And I think against Chelsea, when he came on, there was a lot more of a direct threat. Like he was so like aggressive at Chelsea and he wanted to make things happen. And that's fine. That's fucking fine. Do that all you want, but you can't. That can't be all you do. You can't just run for the sake of it. Like let's go for this. Let's go for a shooting because a shooting is like it's woeful. It's absolutely woeful. Darwin Núñez is shooting for someone who's meant to be a striker. Just to emphasize this, at Liverpool Football Club, I'll put my screen on the side just so you can get like a full clear view. At Liverpool Football Club, the club which has had the likes of Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, my mind's gone for Ian Rush, Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres. Darwin Núñez is not a Liverpool striker. He's just not. Maybe just me, but the idea that Atletico would just happily give us Alvarez and take Darwin a few quid's just like, mate, I'll do it. I'll have Alvarez and a couple quid for Darwin. That's fine. Fucking too right. Julian Alvarez is amazing. I will take Julian Alvarez at Liverpool if he wants to come. No issue whatsoever. I could probably look at him in a second, actually. I'm loving doing this. I'm having a great time. But yeah, like goals 0.43 per 90, shots 2.83. Not bad, but it's still only the top 64%. Shots on target, like look at the difference between his shots and his shots on target. That's 36.4%. That is woeful. And that header against Chelsea the other day just summed it up. He is someone who will run and he will work and he will put in a shift. I don't want someone who's going to run and put in a shift. I want someone who can actually score. I want someone who can impact the match. I want someone who can be in the right position and then do something with it. It's all well and good being like, well, he gets into the right positions, he makes things happen here. You know, he gets onto the end of the ball. That's fucking great. I don't care. I don't want a striker who's just good at running and will put in effort. If I wanted that, I'd get any fan from the street, stick him in the team and go on, play. Because they put in a shift, but they can't finish the ball. And that's what Darwin Núñez has. It's a shame because there is a player in there who works his arse off. I just don't think he suits the way we play. And I completely agree with this sentiment. I completely agree that there is a player in Darwin Núñez. There is 100% someone in that team who he could go to La Liga and I think he'll tear it apart. On transitions from defense to attack, running with the ball, running behind, I think he will rip La Liga apart. I think he could maybe go to the Bundesliga because we've seen how good he is in the air. There was a player there that could easily go to certain leagues in certain parts of the world, and I think he'd be amazing, and we can get a good fee for him. And he'll be one of those players like a Luis Alberto or an Iago Aspas who leave and actually get better. And Darwin is a good player. But you can't just be a striker for Liverpool Football Club, who've had some of the best strikers in the history of not just English football, but European football. Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, Suarez, Torres, etc., over and over and over again, Divock Origi, and just pop up with the odd little moment here and there and run. That's not good. You're a passenger. You can't be a passenger at this club. Hard work is the bare minimum. Exactly that. And what did we give Jordan Henderson so much shit for. Different positions, I know, but what did we give Henderson shit for? What do we give Szoboszlai shit for now? You can run all you want, but your end product is not there. And that's the exact same thing with Darwin Núñez. You can run all you want and you can defend all you want. Like, look at his defensive stats alone. Like, that is, for a fucking striker, that's insane. That's Roberto Firmino numbers, and that's the problem. Slot wants Nunez to play like Roberto Firmino. He wants him to be a false nine who will come deep and distribute the ball. Nunez can't do that because he picks up the ball and he runs with it and he runs into the corner and then loses it, gets tackled, fucking decides to run, and then everyone cheers him because he runs, and that's great. But he's the one who lost the ball in the first place, and you can't be that striker for Liverpool. I know he's just not enough for us, the most frustrating player in the team. He is the most frustrating player. I get frustrated at Jota recently. I get frustrated, I think, at Szoboszlai, even though I love Szoboszlai. I think he's great. But yeah, Nunez is the first. And I don't want to be just ripping into him because it's harsh, but it's true. He's the odd man out in that front six of attackers, and that's a front six which consists of Federico Chiesa as well. And he is someone who I would rather see in the number 9 role than Nunez. That says how far Nunez has dropped. When someone who's only had 5 Premier League games for us hasn't started any of them, I would rather see him at the number 9. He's perfect for Atletico. I think Diego Simeone would love him. Completely agree. He's somewhat, for all that we give Nunez shit, he's not good on the ball. Like, he picks it up, and he's not someone who's going to be able to make major things happen with him. But I think on going from defense to attack, on the transition, on a counter attack, he's quick, he is direct, he can get the occasional wonder goal, and I think he'd be amazing in a defensive minded team which needs to get forward. Ricky Lambert, we're not talking about Ricky Lambert. Ricky Lambert is not a part of this conversation in any capacity. Not having it. If that was that in relation to the best strikers? Because I'm not justifying Ricky Lambert as a top 10 Liverpool striker ever. Like, that's not happening whatsoever. I'm sorry. You said Ricky Lambert, and that makes me want to have a sip of that. No, Ricky Lambert, yeah. But no, just, you know, God love Darwin Núñez. He's a tryer, and God loves a tryer. I'm all for that. Give it a go. Play well. Try your best. But yeah, who's your top pick for the new number 9? I sort of go back and forth. Everyone says Isak, but I'm not. I'm not even sold on Sesko as such. I'm not a big Sesko fan. Ezekite will probably be the number 1, but obviously everyone wants him. But he said today that he wants to leave Frankfurt, so that's an option. You could probably get him on a little bit cheaper. Ezekite would probably be the one I would like. Very good on the ball, very good getting forward. I can get his stats as well. I'm quite enjoying the things. Let me know what you think of this in the comments as well. Are you enjoying the stream? Like I said, I don't do a lot of them, but am I still on the thing? I think I am. I am. Let me just stop sharing that. I still have PTSD from having Lambert Barini in, but do you remember that? Do you remember that? I did a top 10 worst Liverpool strikers ever. Like, I know Balotelli was in, I know Lambert was in them in the Premier League era, but I don't know if Barini was in. Barini was in a list recently that I did, and I can't remember what it was. But all 3 of them, we went from Suarez and Sturridge to them, and it's annoying because we had Sturridge that season as well. He was so injury prone, and we ended up with the 3. I was going to say the Musketeers, but they're not. Oh God, the 3 blind mice more than anything. Right, yeah, we'll get Etkite. I think he's the number 9 that I would really like. I wanted Omar Mamouche at one point before he decided to join the dark side. I wanted him to join the rebellion. Jonathan David would be smart business. He would. Jonathan David would be a good one. I think he's the sort of the hot property at the moment where, like, if you want to get him, he's going to cost a fortune, especially like, yeah. Cheers, man. I got to do my own show. I'll keep you posted with the next quiz. Yes. please do. I'm going to be leaving in a second as well. Actually, this is just sort of I keep like this thing. I enjoy when people like, put in the commenting because I can get involved with it. It's really good. Ekitike, I keep saying Etikite, I keep getting it mixed up, but yeah, that's the problem with me. Share screen, do this before I shoot myself. Goals and assists, top there. Like progressive carries, he's good with the ball picking up. Receiving passes because he's constantly running behind. Like 7.66 per 90 is ridiculous. That is insane for how many he's doing. Brian, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. If Sturridge wasn't so injury prone and convinced to be up there with the best in the Prem, he's honest. Daniel Sturridge was one of the most underrated. It's like Neil Mellor. Like he's one of those players for Liverpool that if he didn't get injured as much as he did, he'd easily be in top. What? He could have been top 5 in the Premier League. I think he could have rivaled Torres. Wouldn't have rivaled Suarez, I don't think personally. But Daniel Sturridge was. He was so gifted, like as a finisher. He was so good. He was just instinctive. That chip against West Brom, chip against Everton, the long ranger against Chelsea. Like even that 13-14 season, we didn't have Suarez until the Sunderland match, was it? I think it was when he came back. And we played Stoke, we had Aston Villa, we had United, and it was Sturridge. Like he scored every goal in all of them, and we won the first 3 games 1-0. He was so integral. I think he scored in the 4th. It was Swansea we drew 2-2 against because Victor Moses got the other one. And Daniel Sturridge was the first goal. He was unbelievable for that season. But yeah, Ekitike is, shots 4.04, shots on target, not the best percentage. That's because he's worse than Darwin's. Like, that's a concern you've got to admit. He has been on penalties. He's got a lower XG, which isn't terrific. I don't know. He's the one I think I'd want. Shot creating actions is really good. He's not too much of a defensive player, but in possession, touches in the attacking third, attempted take-ons, successful take-ons. I think he's the one I'd be looking at if I was to maybe go and get a number 9. Probably cost a fortune, but any number 9 that we go for is going to be expensive. I just don't want Sesko. He's not the one that I'm particularly interested in. Yeah. Watching him Suarez was just a dream to watch. I remember when we played Arsenal, my dad said we'd be 3-0 up in 20 minutes. He was wrong. We were 4-0 up. And you know what? I love that match because that has got one of my favourite ever goals in it. And that is Martin Skrtel's header, his second header, when he's going away from the box and it somehow flies into the far corner. I love that goal so much. That is one of my favourite ever goals. And it's from Martin Skrtel of all people. Like, prime Graham Souness style defender, and that game was class because it was. I love reminiscing on these old ones. It's amazing because Skrtel got 2 because one of them was when he slid into Gerrard. And I think I'm right to say it was Sturridge and it was Sterling got the last, and it was that one where he kicked it straight at. Was it Szczesny? Was it Wojciech Szczesny was the Arsenal keeper? He kicked it straight at him, and then he completely it bounced back to him. That was a dream header. It was. I love that header so much. That's a nostalgic memory. That match. I absolutely loved that, and it was like we had Everton the game before or the game after, and it was just we absolutely twatted both of them in a row. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble now. I am going to shoot. If you've got any last comments that anyone wants to get in for the last 2 minutes, go for it because I'm going to be shooting in a second. This has already gone on longer than I thought it was going to. But yeah, with the streams with regards to it, I'm just going to do them whenever I've got the chance, just to keep getting content out, just to keep making sure that stuff comes out because the lists are great. I will never stop doing them. They're the bread and butter of this channel, but it's getting the time. I do work full time. It's hard to get them all typed out and ready. And yeah, I remember we had the corner and Suarez and they scored. That was I think if that had gone in, that would have been Suarez cemented as like a Premier League great. And what I mean by that is, I think you've got like Thierry Henry is up there. Alan Shearer is obviously up there. Aguero. People will mention Suarez, but I just don't think he gets the praise that he should for those few seasons he was there. I think if that Arsenal goal went in, if it's the one I'm thinking of where he steps on it, bounces it up, spins and volleys it, and it cracks the post, if that goes in, that's it. I think he's regarded as one of the best because it was just so out there. I think that would have been goal of the season if he scored that. Who scored goal of the season in 13-14? I don't know who it was because I can't remember who scored our goal of the season. Um, who would have scored? It would have been a Suarez goal, surely, but it was Norwich. I think. It was the dip and volley against Norwich that he scored my favourite ever goal, which FYI. But anyway, right, I'm carrying on. But yeah, streams are going to be more regular. Lists are going to be keeping going. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. This went on a bit longer than I wanted to, but yeah, thank you for getting involved in the comments. Make sure to click like and subscribe. And yeah, fuck Trent. Nunez is gone.